Before we get into today's show, we are gaining ground on the Commanders Report in our monthly sub battle. Last week has favored us. Still room to grow with about the halfway point. Let's keep going. Catch up to the Commanders and subs this month. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/Cowboys TV. We're back with Myles Garrett because Micah Parsons is pushing this. And to an extent, I actually very much appreciate Micah Parsons trying to advocate for his team to be more aggressive in the way they haven't been in the past. He is trying. Micah tweeting this out, tagging Myles Garrett on social media, calling the Eagles Thanos, and also maybe a questionable choice because Robert Downey Jr. dies. Spoiler alert. So I'm not sure who's dying in this scenario to defeat Thanos. So maybe not the best choice, but I get what he's going for there. Now, Micah also had this to say, again, to Nick Harris, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. The talent is there. We just got to be aggressive the same way other teams did. I don't want to sit back and watch other teams build and us do the same. It's definitely some call to action. I want to see us become aggressive and get some players that will come in and make an impact. I want to see us bring back our own players. It's just as important. Let's see what we can do there. I agree with all of that. It's stuff we've all said for how long now? Now, Micah also, there's no progress on his deal yet. He trusts Jerry Jones, that thinks there's a plan. I would say check in again at the Combine. You know, if they do the thing of they don't meet with Micah's agent again at the Combine, I will be very concerned because they should. It's kind of a no-brainer. Paying Micah frees up salary cap space. It does. Frees up, maybe it's not the full 18. Maybe it's 14. Whatever that figure ends up being, hey, good news, everybody. You've got more money to spend. Garrett in particular, though, I don't think we need to get our hopes up too much here. It is a really fun idea. The start of it is intriguing. It's Myles Garrett. You get the best pass rush duo ever. But it's more of just a fantasy Madden style idea. It's fun. You're adding an impact player. It's the Cowboys, the lazy narratives of Jerry making a splash. Giving up a first-round pick, and probably 2 first-round picks if we're being honest here, and paying Garrett $35+ million per year, and paying Micah big money doesn't make much sense. I know Micah said he'll take less. He's not going to take $15 million per year less. We know that. So I just don't find it believable, feasible in the end. So what is the percent chance the Cowboys even try to trade for Myles Garrett? It is the pinned comment on today's video. So if that ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Now, we're also talking draft trade-ups here. Bleacher Report advocating a trade-up for Ashton Jeanty could be one of the 5 trades that would turn the NFL draft upside down. And here's what they wrote. Jerry Jones may very well be ready to make a splash after being chastised throughout the previous season for not doing much of anything to help his team. The back half's true. The first half, I'm going to say it at this point, if the immediate argument is, Jerry Jones loves to make a splash, no, you're being lazy, actually. It is not 1995 anymore. They don't make splashes very often. We can't keep saying Jerry loves to make a splash, and then every year there's no splash. And by the way, I like Jeanty a lot. He's going to be a top 5 player for me. I don't think this team is equipped to move up for a running back. They've got far too many holes, offensive line potentially included there, but across the roster, just by giving up a 2nd or a 3rd round pick for a running back. That's no shot against Jeanty. I think he's an awesome football player. I wouldn't have many complaints about picking him at 12, especially if you fill some of those needs for once in free agency. But trading up for a back? Look, let's make sure we don't learn the wrong lesson from Philadelphia. They added Saquon Barkley. They added gasoline to a fire that was already going. If you're trying to get a fire going and you throw gasoline onto a bunch of grass, it doesn't matter if there's not already a bit of a fire going or you can't add a match to it. I don't think you're ready to give up to trade up for Jeanty because that limits my ability to make the rest of the roster good enough. Today's show is made possible by Zbiotics. They invented the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It's pre-alcohol, what it's called. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break said byproduct down. Remember to drink it before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. First time I had it, I felt a lot better the next day. And that matters a lot, given the fact that sometimes those super chats come in, all the beer bongs hit, and it's just, I can't hang the way I used to. So stay in the loop and go to zbiotics.com/chatsports. You can also scan the QR code on screen right now to get 15% off your order when you use code CHATSPORTS at checkout. You can get a subscription using the code as well, so you're prepared for the time or the occasion. You can also make note that it is back with 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Head to zbiotics.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS for 15% off your first order at checkout. A big thank you to Zbiotics for sponsoring today's show and our good times. Many of you guys asked me about this on social media too. Germaine Pratt trade, the Bengals linebacker requesting a trade. Fans had linked him as a destination, and getting a linebacker help in general does make sense. Maurice Liufau is, I'm excited about him long term. I'm optimistic about him. Thought he showed some good stuff down the stretch. But Eric Kendricks, Nick Vigil are free agents. DeMarvion Overshown is going to miss at least some of the upcoming season, depending on how the recovery goes. Will determine when he's able to return. The rest of these guys, Darius Harris, Buddy Johnson, Brock Moggensen, are, fringe roster players. And I am about out on Damone Clark. Got one more chance, but he's got a lot of money to do his way, so a little bit dicey there. I have zero real trade interest in the end, despite all of that, in Jermaine Pratt. He was top 5 in missed tackles this past year. The reality is, this point in Pratt's career, is I don't trust him to be a reliable enough run stopper. And I don't think he's very good in coverage either. He's due $5.6 million in 2025. I think that his trade request was maybe he's trying to secure that money because he's a bit worried about his own market. Because he has been a prime cut candidate for the Bengals already. The tackle numbers look great. 143 tackles. Tackles are a bad way to eval a player if you're only using tackles. Where are they coming? If they're coming 8 yards downfield on a 3rd and 6 pass, who cares? If they're coming 5 yards downfield on a 3rd and 2 run, who cares? I would not be surprised, and I know you're not either, Producer Zone or Bengals host, if Pratt ends up getting cut. You just cut him and you move on. It makes sense for the Bengals. And if so, the Colts with Lou Anarumo make the most sense for him anyway. Now, if he's cut and wants to sign for like $1 or $2 million, let's talk. I am intrigued by that. I suspect he wants a trade and asked for a trade for one of 2 reasons. Last year of his deal, went to the Bengals, said, will you extend me? They said, no. He said, okay, then trade me. Or he is worried about getting cut and wants to find a destination that will keep him at the current price tag he's owed. So trades in general. Will the Cowboys make a trade before the NFL draft? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments of today's show. ESPN's Field Yates put out a new 2025 NFL mock draft. He had a very intriguing selection by the Dallas Cowboys. It's Michigan cornerback Will Johnson in that latest mock draft. There is a chance he could be on the board for you. And I think this makes it a good time to discuss him. So we haven't really talked about him all that much previously. Here's what Yates wrote. Though going with an offensive lineman was strongly considered here, Johnson helped fortify a Cowboys from there's plenty of questions as the offseason begins. Diggs are coming from a knee injury. Deron Bland has one left on his contract. Jordan Lewis is going to be a free agent. There are some in the scouting world who see a healthy Johnson as one of the highest upside players in the class. He is at least elite size at 6'2", and the ball skills with 9 career picks. Even if the Cowboys worry about his speed, it won't be an issue in new coordinator Matt Eberflus's zone-heavy scheme. And yes, Dallas could think running back, but maybe they wait and take advantage of a deep position in this class. I'll spend some more time on this here. But grade the potential pick for me of Will Johnson in round 1. A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I don't have any real complaints taking Johnson at pick number 12. If he's there for you, he'll probably be one of the highest graded players on my board. Johnson, to an extent, did take a bit of a step back this year. He was banged up. He had a toe injury in October. I think if Michigan had been an actual CFP threat, he might have been able to make a return late in that run. There are questions about his top-end true speed. I don't see elite tackling either, which I know worries some of you given Trayvon Diggs. Also, you're a corner. I think if you're exposing corner tackle issues, you've actually got a bigger issue, more often than not, on your roster. But both his picks went for pick sixes this year. He has the size I covet. I think he is actually pretty quick and can hang around in man coverage if needed. And if you play zone, then your top-end speed, especially some quarters, cover three stuff, isn't necessarily as a true concern. So as long as that testing isn't a mess, given the ball skills, high football IQ, got shades of Xavier Howard here. That does intrigue me a lot in round one.